why is the YETZER so strong on Erev Shabbat? In essence, it's the same answer. It's because the mitzvot, the schar, the reward that you're going to get for observing Shabbat the right way is magnified by thousands or even millions than what you're going to get for the rest of the week. So everything has to be measure for measure. Everything has to have, some type of presentation of what its true value is. So if, let's say, for example, you and me wanted to go get $10. $10. We want to get $10. Both of us are willing to spend a certain amount of energy to attain this $10. Most likely, we're willing to spend, let's say, 10 minutes or even an hour to try to get $10. But if somebody told you, listen, you're going to have to work for 3 weeks to get $10, you're going to say, thank you, but no thank you. Why? It's not worth 3 weeks of my life to get $10. It's not worth it. But if somebody told you to get $1 million, you have to spend 3 weeks. What are you going to say to them? Say, you know what? Make it 6 weeks. It's still good. Make it a month. Make it 2 months. Make it 5 months. It's still good. Make it a whole year. It's still good. For $1 million, I'll do it. Why? It's worth the energy for that kind of reward. So HaKadosh Baruch Hu, He wants to give us an enormous reward for keeping His Shabbat the right way, for learning His Torah the right way, for doing His mitzvot the right way. The reward is infinite. It's not something we could comprehend with our human brain. So, there's an added pressure. It takes a lot more to fulfill this thing, this mitzvah, in order to get this reward, because the prize is much bigger. So it's much more difficult to get it. If it's an average J, I told you, listen, don't drive today. So, you know what? I don't have to go anywhere anyway. So, okay, I won't drive. But if I tell you, don't drive on Shabbat, now you think, wait, I really have that appointment. All of a sudden, there's appointments. All of a sudden, you need to go. Why? Because there's the YETZER. On average day, there's no YETZER for driving, because you're allowed to drive. On Shabbat, there is a YETZER for driving. Why? Because you're not allowed to drive. So that's where we learned from Shlomo HaMelech, Maim gnuvim imtaku. Stolen water are sweeter. Even though somebody could look at 2 cups of water, and it's the same water. This is from the one bottle, this is from the same bottle. If his neshama knows that this one you bought from the store, but this one was stolen, automatically the YETZER is going to tell him to pick this one. Why? It's stolen. He's like, no, this one it looks sweeter to me. They actually did a study, and they didn't know they're actually helping us do Kiruv with this. Everybody doesn't realize that everything can be used for Torah. They showed a group of guys, identical twin girls, grown women. Both were attractive, and they said to the guys, they showed them one girl, and then they showed them the other girl. He said, which one is prettier? Now they're both identical, not just identical because identical, you can't tell the difference. They said something like over 90% of the men said it's the one on the right, not the one on the left. Now, the scientists didn't understand, why everybody keeps the one on the right? They both have the same features, same hair, same this, everything. The only difference between the one on the right and the one on the left is what? The one on the right is married. The one on the left is single. The one on the right, obviously, they don't know. The guys don't know this, but their neshama knows that one is forbidden. It's already taken. It's taken. Their YETZER knows that one's taken. I want that one. Maim gnuvim imtaku. Stolen water are sweeter. So that's our neshama. Same thing goes with Shabbat. Same thing goes with every big mitzvah. One of the ways that you know that you're going in the right direction, as far as mitzvot are concerned, as far as kedusha is concerned, is if the YETZER interferes. If the YETZER is not interfering, if you're trying to raise money for some big knesset, and you want to raise, $1 million, and you're able to raise that money in 24 hours, most likely you shouldn't build a big knesset. Most likely you should refund the money. Why? That big knesset is not going to have much bracha. Why? It's too easy. It's not supposed to be so easy to build another big knesset in the world. Same thing with any big mitzvah. If it's easy to get something, there's a problem. That means the YETZER doesn't care about this. If the YETZER doesn't care about it, why should you? I'm not saying you should only go after the difficult things, But you'll notice that the things that are the most valuable are much more difficult to attain. Much more difficult to attain. So for example, you'll see different organizations raise money. I never believed this when I first started doing Teshuva. My rabbi told me this. I said, nah, come on, this can't be real. This can't be real. No way, I was on Wall Street, I could raise money. I was able to raise $10 million a month for my business. I'm not going to be able to raise money for this Kiruv stuff? Nah, it's easy. Now, I don't like talking to people about money because I'm focused on Torah. But I figured that, the world's going to see what we're doing. It's good, it's easy. And people are going to donate. Unbelievable. You see every other day there's a new campaign, 24 hours, 36 hours, we're raising $1 million, we're raising $1.5 million, we're raising $5 million, different organizations. Bless them. I'm not saying they're bad. But you see, they get more than what they want. They want to raise $1 million, they get a bonus round, $1.5 million. 36 hours, we need $2 million, they get $3 million. Unbelievable. Now you see, what are they doing with the money? More times than not, they're buying another building. More times than not, they're buying another building, hoping that people are going to come to this building to learn, to do something. Baruch Hashem, you look at all the few Kiruv organizations that actually help people do Teshuva, not buildings, actually help people go from Gehenom to Gan Eden, go from being atheist to being Shomer Shabbat. Campaign, we're trying to raise $500,000. And forget it, we're trying to raise $100,000. A week later, $195 donated by Steve. Why not? What happened? YETZER doesn't let this go free. It's very hard to raise money for Kiruv. Even from your own students, even from your family, even from everything. Why? Because the YETZER will do everything and anything possible to interfere. It doesn't mean it's not possible. It's just that the reward is so much greater for this versus this that the YETZER would interfere. Just like if, for example, if you're going to watch a Shiur Torah on YouTube versus come to a Shiur Torah. To watch on YouTube, 2 seconds you press, it works. To come to a Shiur Torah, all of a sudden the car doesn't work, all of a sudden the wife needs you to stay home, all of a sudden you're tired, all of a sudden your stomach hurts, all of a sudden you just heard bad news, something happens. Why? The mitzvah for coming to the Shiur Torah versus watching on YouTube is a world apart. Gemara Masechet Brachot says there's schar alicha. There's a special reward actually going to a shiur, not just watching it, not just knowing about it, but actually attending it. You become part of the shiur. So for that, there's a bigger YETZER. Same thing.